when you first log in, you'll see that you have postcards, brochures, letters, right? Those are kind of our three main offerings in terms of our direct mail pieces. So if we go to postcards, we'll see all sorts of templates here. We're able to filter those at the top. It's also very easy to come over here and filter them by just clicking on real estate sales. Let's look at just sold, right? And we can bring up all of the just sold templates. We can also search here in our search bar for various templates. But let's come here and let's choose an automated seller valuation version of this template. So we'll talk about the automated seller valuations here in just a minute. But I want to start off by just taking a look at editing the templates in the Express editor. So we have a front and a back, right? Obviously, we have a photo. So right now it has some default information marked cruise. I'm going to come and I'm going to just start filling out my info, and we can see that it is very quickly populating this information. Super simple. I can come and I can change out my headshot. I'm going to say upload a new image, and I'll upload one here. So we have that. I can select that image and it will go ahead and fill in the headshot. Okay, so here we have my headshot. I can come and I can modify this if I would like. Maybe I want more of my face, less of the rest of me. So you can play with that. You can also play with just the fit image and fill frame buttons. And, of course, we can change any of the information, the property information, branding. So I could come down here and say, all right, I'm going to change my primary color to something more blue. And we'll see that's a pretty drastic change, pretty quick. Change the secondary color as well. Maybe just something more along the gray lines. So you can play with the color schemes, make them match what it is that fits your brand, and then you can actually save that brand as well. And then we can change other colors as well. So everything is completely customizable, pretty easy to do. That's all inside the Express editor. If you really want to move stuff around, you can use the Advanced editor. I wouldn't recommend it. I would really just stay in the Express editor. If you want a custom template, then for just $79, we will create a custom template for you, and then it'll be Express editor ready as well. So I would always just pay $79 before really jumping into the Express editor and doing all that. Obviously, you're most likely not a graphic designer. So with that being said, so let's take a quick look here, right? So I was just changing my information on this template, but let's say I just sold a property. Maybe I want to grab that information. So all I have to do is I can link myself to the MLS by putting in my agent ID, my email address. MLS ID is the simplest. So here we go. I'm going to select my wife, say continue with her, and now here are all her listings. So I can select any one of these listings, and it's going to automatically populate all of the data. So let's take a look here. So the Arizona MLS doesn't feed us bats. It's a rental. Let's look at a non-rental. Okay. And so it's going to pull in all of the photos from the MLS. So by default, it's going to choose the first image from the MLS, but I could also come in here and change it. And when I hit change, it's actually going to pull in all of the MLS images. So this is super, super cool. It makes it very easy to design postcards very rapidly. Just like with a headshot, we can go and we can modify that image as well. All right. So that's kind of the basics of editing. We talked about the automated seller valuations. So these are very cool. What happens is this QR code will automatically be unique for every home in your mailing list. So what happens is the property address will be filled in. This URL will also be filled in, just like all your mailing information here. But what's cool about this is, like I said, it's unique for every mailing address. So, uh, what that means is that the moment someone scans this, we know that they scanned it. So you're going to receive an email right away that says that this address scanned it. They will then be taken to a landing page where we'll prompt them to enter their email address to have an automated seller valuation sent to them right away. If they enter their email address, you'll get a second email that says, hey, they've now entered their email address. They're also going to be added to a list that you can use in the future to continue to mail them. We recommend that no matter what they do, you put together a CMA. Question comes up all the time. How accurate are these? Whatever. It's, very accurate, as accurate as you can get, right? Similar to like a Z estimate. With that being said, who cares? It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is that you initiate a conversation, right? So now that someone scanned it, hopefully they enter their email. You can shoot them an email. If they don't, we always recommend put together a CMA, drop it at their house. These are awesome leads. And we have templates that generate 4% scan rates off the bat. So, I mean, I would highly recommend you do these. They're also the best templates to set up on a true set it and forget it and just mail every single month. So it's only an additional 5 cents per postcard to utilize the ASV functionality. I would just always use it. One thing to note here is in Arizona, the MLS comes in right where lane is not in all caps. So we do just want to make sure that everything is the way that we want it. So as you see here, even doing this on a webinar, these are incredibly fast and easy to do. I might come in here and add square feet, anything I want to change. We're only 9 minutes into the entire webinar and we've already created a postcard. So that's pretty wild, right? So, you can see, you can have these done truly in minutes. And in fact, I can save myself here, my profile information. And now when I go into the editor the next time, I can just select Geoff Lilienfeld and it's going to automatically populate all my information. Same thing with the brand. I just save my branding and now it'll automatically select that brand. And that'll include the logo too, right? If I'd come in here and edited my logo, same thing there. We don't need to create the whole postcard. Okay, so now we have our template. The next thing that we need is a list. So let's go and let's build ourselves a list. So polygons are what most of us are used to, especially from working inside the MLS. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pick a starting address. I'm going to zoom in a little, and then I am going to draw a polygon of where I want to mail. So if I click and hold, I can move around the map. If I do a single click, it's going to start the polygon. So I'm going to choose this area right inside of here. Okay, so it tells me we found 680 addresses. And now I have this account has a Mailing List Pro package. Mailing List Pro allows us a couple of additional features. One, it allows us all these filters we see here. But two, it allows us to see the turnover rates and the agent saturation rates. Mailing List Pro is available as its own subscription for $99 a month, or if you choose to go with any of our credit-based subscriptions, which we'll talk about in a little bit, Mailing List Pro is included with those as well. So turnover rate, right? This is what percentage of homes in the polygon sell each year. So if there's 200 homes and 20 sell on average per year, the turnover rate is 10%. Fairly straightforward. Generally we want to look for turnover rate 6% or over, but it's really going to vary based on your geography, right? The turnover rate more than anything should be used to compare different areas. So if I'm saying, hey, maybe I want to farm here, But there's this other area over here that I'm interested in farming as well. Let me take a look and let's see what the turnover rate is here, right? Now I can compare those two different areas and the turnover rates in them. So the turnover rate's super useful, right? I see, oh, okay, this doesn't turn over as quick. Well, not nearly. This would be a better one. But let's talk about the agent saturation rate. So there's tons of areas to farm, right? Depending on where you live, if it's more rural, yeah, maybe you don't have the same level of options. In an urban climate like Scottsdale, Arizona, we have tons of options, right? We're never going to farm all of Scottsdale. So what does that mean? It means that we don't want to farm areas that other agents already own really well. Instead, we want to look for areas that other agents aren't mailing. So that's where it steps in the agent saturation rate. So what the agent saturation rate is doing is it's looking at the agent that has the most listings over the course of a year in our target area. So inside of this polygon, the agent that sold the most listings, or listed, I shouldn't say sold, the agent that listed the most homes in that area listed 6.56% of all the homes. So that means that there, say, there were 110 homes or something listed. They listed 6.56% of them. So, 7 of those homes, as an example. At any rate, we want to look for lower agent saturation rates, right? Because that means that there's no agent that really owns the area. Because if there's an agent that really owns the area, as we all know, they're most likely doing it through farming and they're mailing a whole lot of postcards in there already. This is a very low agent saturation rate, so this would be an area that we're definitely interested in mailing. I'd say really, anything under, 10%, I'd say is incredibly low. 15% is pretty low, and I'm fine with anything, really under like 20%. Again, that's going to vary. If you're in a super rural area, there may only be 4 real estate agents in town, right? So that'll be up to you to figure out. But that's really the gist of purchasing mailing lists. It's fairly, simple and straightforward. We could do things like say, okay, I only want to mail absentee owners. We can say I only want to mail people that bought at least 3 years ago, right? So last sold before April 11th of 2021. And we're going to, keep updating our information based on this. So that's kind of the gist of how this works. Same thing, equity. So Mailing List Pro is a super cool tool. You can also do an address and radius search. Subdivisions work in certain markets, they don't in others. Drawing a polygon is always going to be your safest and best bet. So that's what I'd recommend. So at any rate, once we have that, we can hit next, and then we can purchase the list and store it in our account to be used with a mailing. We can also say things like, okay, I only want to purchase 250 of the addresses. And then with the polygon, it's going to, select the 250 closest to the middle. With an address and radius, it's always going to select the closest 250 to the target address. And that's kind of it, right? Now we just purchase the list. So we've talked about postcards, we've talked about the list, we looked at the Express editor, we've talked about automated seller valuations, we checked out the MLS integration. The other thing I want to discuss there are the automatically generated postcards and soon to be other assets. But with the AutoGen, what happens is once you have linked your MLS, like we did on the postcards page, once you have your MLS linked, now we're going to keep an eye on it. And if we have your headshot and we have your other brand information, we're going to automatically generate your just listed, just sold, coming soon, under contract. We're going to generate all those postcards automatically based on that information. So make sure that you get all that into the system. But yeah, so it's, stuff is just more and more automated, done for you. So we're going to automatically generate those postcards for you. Let's take a look at some of my favorite products here. I'm actually going to start with letters because, or I'm sorry, with brochures, because brochures are very underutilized because it's a little bit more perceived work to put together brochures. But I have to tell you, like, these things are so high value. We do have ASV versions with the brochures as well. Our team uses brochures and just absolutely kills it. It is unbelievable how high impact these are and how high of an ROI brochures have. I highly recommend including brochures in any campaign. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to select the Geoff Lilienfeld we just created so you can kind of see how that branding changes. But the price point of brochures definitely scares people, and it shouldn't, because what we care about is ROI, right? We want to get more money back than we spent on our marketing, and brochures are like the number one place to do that. So I'm going to come in here and let's take a look here at my headshot. And because it's a different type of frame, I'm just going to go and I'm going to change that and fix it real quick. So that's how simple that is also. For our brochures, we do the same thing, and we can load an MLS listing as well. And that's going to update the design. Obviously, we will need to go through and we will need to select images that actually match our labels if that's what we so choose to do. Or we can go through and we could change the labels as well to match images. So this is pretty slick here, right? I mean, look at what we just did. We now have a full brochure ready to go. So now I just need to take this and update the description a little bit. But I mean, this is done. This is awesome. I can take anything and throw it in here. Um, this is very, very cool stuff. I could also do this as a little about me. Um, and we have brochures that don't require any copy. So again, these are very slick. They're very high impact. Um, I can't recommend using brochures enough. That's for sure. So all these images, of course, can be edited now also. So that's brochures. Another really cool product we have are letters. So again, filter. However, but some of the really awesome ones that have very high responses, I love just listed letters. Um, I really love buyer need letters saying, hey, we have a buyer that's looking to purchase. I would recommend doing them in areas you actually have a buyer. We want to be truthful in our marketing. If you have a lead gen website, then you probably have tens of thousands of buyers, and it's very easy for you to find neighborhoods that you have buyers in. Right? Because any lead gen website is constantly collecting those buyers. So you can look through the letters. Again, automated seller valuations are an option, but these are really, really cool. Um, let's just take a quick look at what the letters look like too. So essentially, um, these letters actually are so the letters are printed, folded, stuffed in a number 10 envelope. We put a live stamp on them. We use a handwritten font to print the address and the return address. And then we actually cancel that stamp also. This cancellation is something pretty nerdy and detail oriented. that most people wouldn't kind of think about. But essentially, USPS does not cancel bulk mail stamps, right? They do not put this cancellation over that. Um, which, someone's not going to pick it up and say, oh, this isn't canceled, but it just might look a little bit more like bulk mail than when you cancel it, right? It's just kind of that gut reaction. So the cancellation with the live stamp really enhances the open rates. So again, we have all sorts of different templates you can check out. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff here. So those are brochures and letters. The letters, just like the postcards and brochures, can be edited in the Express editor. Very simple and quick. Um, so real quick, just talk about subscriptions a little bit. So we always recommend that you mail the same farm every month consistently. Like you just have to. It's it's how any marketing works. Right? It's no different than digital or anything else in terms of it's all about repetition. So you really need to make sure that you're mailing the same area a minimum of once per month. So what we recommend doing is get on a subscription, get it set up as a set it and forget it, and mail an automated seller valuation postcard every single month. We'll set it up for you. The entire process will take you a half hour, right? So you can come in, grab a subscription. So decide how many homes you want to mail, right? So let's say we're going to mail 700, sure. Um, you can also type in however many you want. It'll move the slider. But let's go back. We're going to say 700 homes. Um, Perfect. So you're going to get Mailing List Pro for free. We'll automatically update your mailing list. So I shouldn't say automatically. You'll have to go in and press the button to update the mailing list, but we'll do it completely for free. Um, and you'll be done. So all you'll do is sign up for your subscription. You'll get on an onboarding call. We'll create your postcard template, and we'll set it up to automatically go out every month. There's no other system like that, right? I mean, how else can you spend 30 minutes and have your marketing done for the year? So it's really cool. Definitely set up a subscription. But essentially, in general, when it comes to farming, right, we're going to set up the automated seller valuations to go out every month. Every time we have a listing in the farm, which you will start getting from the ASVs, you're going to send out on top of it possibly a coming soon, definitely a just listed. I always recommend to do the just listeds as brochures. It's kind of interesting. My wife has actually had somebody stop her in a community that we've been farming for years, upset that she mailed a just listed brochure because that person said it wasn't fair that their realtor didn't send anything like that. And it's not fair that she's mailing such high impact mail pieces. I know it sounds outrageous, but it's true. So do just listed brochures. They're incredibly high impact. Your client will love it. They'll tell everybody about it. But also, everyone in that community is just going to see it and be like, wow, this agent is legit. This is a whole nother level from anything I've ever seen. So mail just listed brochure. So, okay. Ideally, a coming soon postcard, a just listed brochure. We're going to mail an under contract brochure. I'm sorry. Coming soon postcard, just listed brochure, under contract postcard, and then we're going to mail a just sold postcard. The other piece to potentially throw in there is an open house postcard or an open house brochure. Um, and then once we do the just sold postcard, this is a great opportunity to go back and mail a I just sold your neighbor's home letter, right? So we can do an I just sold your neighbor's home postcard. We can also do a I just sold your neighbor's home letter saying, hey, I just sold it and I had more buyers. There was, multiple people interested in this home. I have other buyers. Would you be interested in discussing what your home's worth? Let's actually look at that, right? So we have these just sold letters that already have this copy in here. Um, So yeah, so this one is about just, all the interest in it. So again, you can look through all the templates. We have the copy already written. Same thing. I can select my saved profile. It's going to update the letter. The copy can be updated down here in letter text. Very simple, right? Start typing in, I love selling homes in this community because they sell so fast, right? Sorry, the webinar is slowing down my computer a little bit here. But that's the gist of it, right? So we can instantly see it, and we can add a back page to the letter as well if we would like. Same thing as before. Check out my image here. Oops, I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to modify it. And we can say fill frame. It's kind of a cool feature, and I can just change that box a little bit, and there we go. Boom, this letter is set. If I have different branding I want to use, again, I can edit it. I can just select existing branding that I'd already saved on that last one, and that's all automatically updated. I do want to note too, I just did a quick pick color, but I can also input my brand colors in CMYK, RGB, or hex format. So maybe I want to use a Wise Pelican purple instead. Boom, that's done. Awesome, very simple. So with that being said, I'm going to pop back up that link in case you want to schedule a meeting with one of our campaign strategists. They would love to jump on with you and help you plan your campaign. I hope this was useful. Definitely very excited to get you all up and running. I guess one other quick thing, pricing. You can always click the pricing button if you have any questions on our pricing. We like to keep everything very straightforward. No gotchas, nothing there. The entire platform you can do on your own, totally self-service, but we're also here to help you in any way that you'd like. Again, the live chat at the bottom of the screen is real. These are real people, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Click it, chat with us. You can text us, you can email us, you can call us, whatever works for you. We're here to help you. So definitely, if it interests you, schedule some time right now and we will jump on and assist you. Otherwise, just happy mailing and best of luck in your business. Thanks so much for attending today. I really appreciate it.